I'm a cop. And I want you to be 100% honest with me. I'm talking about no cap. Can you?
Yes, I can say that every cop that I've ever met is a scumbag. And let me demonstrate to you the reasons why. See, as a child, I was violated by an older brother who became a high school principal in South Carolina. And the sheriff who did it is currently the sheriff in Richland County, South Carolina, currently. He was a 2021 U.S. Sheriff of the Year for the entire country. So he represented all law enforcement in terms of sheriffs in 2021. You can't even deny that, because I called the U.S. Sheriff's Association and got a recording of that call. I asked them that question. They said yes. So with that being said, I noticed that there was a problem with that same sheriff where he was covering up things that happened to black children in South Carolina, in particular. Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott. And it happened to high school girls. There was federal court cases. And then I started looking around the country as a law enforcement whistleblower myself. I used to work corrections. And I found out that there's a bunch of cops across the country who are into touching on little kids, little girls, little boys. And often their departments cover it up. And in fact, it is so prevalent of a problem that if you were to arrest 1,800 officers, 1 in 10 of those officers would have been arrested for touching on a kid, having CSAM material, touching on a woman, not knowing what consent is. You know what I'm getting at, right, cop? Right, officer? You know how bad the problem is amongst the badge. You know how bad it is. And so if you were to even reply to this, we will get into the actual stats, because you're looking at one of the people who was internationally known and recognized for proving that your profession is filled to the brim with predators. Predators. By the stats, you are top 5. Cops are top 5 in the country in terms of professions when it comes to being predators, believe it or not. School resource officers alone are a problem. Alone. Now, if you want to look into the whole problem as a whole, I mean, I've done video after video after video. It is to the point where I specialize in going after cop stories where cops do stuff like that. See, you don't have an answer for someone like me, because it's not just the fact that I'm saying that your profession is trash. I can prove it with the numbers. With the numbers. Almost 40% of cops who are arrested for, CSAM crimes, for Law and Order SVU crimes, for Epstein crimes, don't actually go to jail. That is actually a fact. If you want to get into the actual numbers, we can get into the actual numbers. We can go back and forth. But I guarantee you, by the time that I'm done, you will either condemn your profession, or I'm calling you a predator. Pick one.